Hello everyone, this is Anam from Eden Plumbing, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of update on what we saw at the site at the Crescent Village. So basically, you have an existing system. When we came here, we didn't really investigate about this, but from what we saw and what we like, everything is hidden behind here. So we discussed it with Mr. Mohammed from Jane, and from what we are information that we have two zones for the recirculating line. One is this 3/4 inch line, which from what I can see should be a recirculating system for basement and the first floor, and this is a bigger one which is a 1 inch line, and and this line over here is the one that's cold, and that's why we think that yeah, that's why a lot of hot water doesn't reach upstairs in the higher floors, and at the bottom there's no issue because this one is really active. So this is really hot. That's why you can see the color is a little bit more red. This hot water is more transparent color, which is showing that it's not warm. The plan was this valve wasn't there before. So on our last visit, this is something we installed to stop the flow of the water from here. We had an existing valve here. We could stop the water from here, and in this, after stopping this two water and stopping this existing valve, we can isolate this line here, this section here, and by isolating this section, we can put any type of equipment here, balancing valve, stuff like that. But before we start putting everything else, we want to do a test. So we put a valve here. So when we came, once the valve was installed, we turn it half or we turn it fully. This pump is supposed to keep pushing, keep transferring the water. So what happened was that we we shut it off half, hoping that this water will become will be pulled from here because now it's pulling from here. So we'll stop it. It will now start pulling from here, and this will eventually get hotter, and the problem should solve. And if it does solve, then we'll just shut off this thing, three items, and we'll put a balancing valve here, and or find this line up on the second floor and put it up there. Whatever Jane Consulting recommends us, we will do it that way. But for now, um, from what we thought was best was putting a valve here. The diagnose we found is that after putting this valve, there was no activity here. This was still warm and not getting hotter at all, and there was no change whatsoever. So after speaking with the Jane consultants, we think that we should put um, a pressure gauge over here in this area and over here. So what this will tell us is that once everything is running, for example, if it's giving us 60 psi here and 60 psi here, that's nice. But as soon as they shut this off, if there is flow in the water here, this should give us 60 psi. If for some reason there's a shutter valve up somewhere here on the second, third, whatever floor, if there's a shutter valve that's uh, closed, then the pressure will eventually drop. And this is something we will be able to see. We can also put a hose bib here in this section here. But we'll let them decide if they want one over here or no. So this is what I think we should do. Put a pressure gauge here to see if why isn't it's coming, because when I shut this valve off, um, I can still feel the vibration, but I can't really confirm it just by feeling it. If the water was running, why it should be getting hot. So it's a very simple step, but it wasn't. We waited for like a couple of hours and it didn't do nothing. So that's what we need to identify. So to put two pressure gauges here, or if you want to put it here, they'll let us know. If you want to put a hose bib, they'll let us know. Thank you.